Hi, YouTube. All right, so I just wanted to show you guys how I've been making paper lately. I thought that paper making actually had a lot of potential for anyone in the Wiccan or into witchcraft in the pagan community. I thought there was a lot of potential that could be had in making your own paper. Using dictionaries that I've had that are old and a bit outdated, and they work really well. And this is what gave me the idea initially for like making it into more of like a spell working, is that you can if you use dictionary pages in particular, you can rip out the pages that have words with intentions that you might have to set forth for any manifestations or anything really that you can set your mind to. So for me, like if I'm trying to manifest something, I'll pick that word out of the dictionary, rip that out, kind of like say it aloud, kind of like really like feel it, cut that up and use that. And I feel like there's something to that. Yeah, I will go in a dictionary and find a couple words that I am like, that I'm trying to incorporate somehow in a working, and I will use those. And actually you can use anything too. You can use old mail, you can use scrap paper, just like junk paper. Also, you can use leaves, foliage, grass, flowers. I've heard people doing spices, but I have not personally tested with spices. I don't know if that would affect or create a shelf life for the paper. I don't know how that would work exactly. I think it depends on the spice you use, but that's a possibility as well. And yeah, it's pretty cool. There's just so many possibilities. There's so many things you could incorporate into the paper that you make, and then I feel like it would just be so much stronger if you were to write a petition on that paper that you already like put the effort into making that paper with all these intentions in place. So I feel like it would just kind of be a little powerhouse. So yeah, I think it could be a really good thing. So one of the things you're gonna need, well, I guess not necessarily, but you're gonna want probably one of these type of things. I don't even know what they are called. It's basically like a paper making strainer thing. I made this one. It's I know you could buy them actually on Amazon for pretty cheap, like probably $15 you can buy one, but I didn't want to do that. So I had a kitchen strainer actually that I was using to make paper. Like it was just one of those flat circle ones. And I was using that for a while to make circle-shaped paper, as well as an embroidery hoop with just some cheesecloth, and those both worked really well for a while. But eventually, the circle strainer, the big one that I was using, I ended up breaking it. So I cut it out of that circle shape that it was in, and I literally just stapled it onto this wood frame. I stapled it on. Yeah, and that was literally it. And these frames I just got, actually I have a bunch of canvases here, so I ripped canvas off, like already like stretched ones. I ripped them off of here. You can see that I painted on this one. I ended up not liking the picture at all, so I just ripped off the canvas and kept the frame. So that's what these are. So one of them has the stapled strainer, the other one's just a top. Basically, you just put those together, and I just have them bound with, I just put one rubber band on each side right here and one right here. And then you just make your paper and pop this right out, plop it out, and that's it. It's really easy actually. So yeah, it was super easy to make. I'm surprised I didn't do it sooner. I can't believe I was using the circle strainers for so long, because that thing was kind of a pain to work with. But the embroidery hoop was also pretty cool, but it was a challenge all in itself, so it was a challenge. This is by far the easiest method I've found, and it seems to be like, I don't know, it just feels more like paper that you're actually going to use, because it's rectangles instead of circles, so, which, I mean, circles are fine too. Circle paper is very cool in its own sense, but yeah, I just wanted to try this out, so I did. I made that. And I just wanted to explain a little bit about that, because that's not something you typically will have laying around. You'll have to make that or buy one probably. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. I hope this made sense. I'm kind of rambly, but I'm not really used to talking in front of the camera a lot, so it's a little weird for me. I've got to get used to it somehow though, so hopefully this made sense a little. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, another idea I had for any of you kitchen witches out there, you could definitely make little recipe cards out of this paper that have, you know, whatever recipes you want, whether they just be mundane, regular old recipes or more magical in nature. Doesn't matter. You could use them for that. It'd be kind of nice, and they just look really sweet. I think that'd be kind of a cool thing to do. Oh yeah, I also forgot to mention. My boyfriend gave me this idea, and I didn't do it yet, but I'm thinking that I'll do it on my next batch. But you could definitely anoint these papers with any scented oils. You could just one drop in the whole batch, and I bet you just like you probably get like a hint of smell through that. Or when they're done, you could alternatively just spritz them with a little bit of scented oil or scented water, even for that matter. And that would be kind of a cool thing too, a little bit of a scent going on. There's so many options, so many possibilities. It's insane. So yeah, lots of potential. I mean, anything that you would use paper for, you could use this paper for, you know, magically or mundane, it doesn't matter. It's pretty paper either way, so whatever. It's a good way to recycle too, or reuse. So yeah. All right, if any of that made sense, and if any of that sounds interesting to you, continue watching and you can kind of watch my process and how I go about making this paper. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. Bye. I'm so awkward. Hello. Let's make some paper. So the first thing you're going to need is some paper. So I got me a pink envelope right there, as well as some oak leaves I'm going to be using. I'm also going to be using dictionary pages, as I mentioned quite a few times earlier. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need one of those strainer things, whatever they're called. I really should know, but I do not, so there's that. You'll also be needing a blender full of water. I don't know the exact amount. I usually just eyeball it, so a full pitcher of water, or blender of water, I mean. We're going to start by cutting up that paper into little pieces. The smaller the pieces, probably the better. All right, so here I'm just looking for those words that I was telling you about. Anything that you decide you'd like to incorporate, you just pick that right out of the pages and add that in. And my cat's being a little turd right here, so don't mind that. All right, now I'm contemplating the items I chose. I'm reinstating their purpose as I cut them into pieces then as well. Well, I will be. There we go. In the end, I think I'll end up using about 3 to 4 pages of paper, or that like amount of paper in order to make this recipe. Okay, so now I'm going to be blending that up. I usually only do it for about 1 minute to 3 minutes at the most, because I kind of like those words to show through a little bit in the end result. If you decide you don't want that result, then you just blend up for a longer amount of time, basically, until you have your pulp. And here it is. Here is the pulp. Nice and foamy. Oh, I forgot to mention you're going to need lots of towels as well. So I'm going to lay those out and create a nice surface for me to put my paper on. Oh, another thing I didn't mention is that tub of water there. So you're going to need something kind of like that, just something to sift the pulp into, which here I am pouring it in. So that's the next step. You pour all that in. Once all the pulp is in, you can start the process of creating the actual piece of paper that you want. Clearly I shouldn't have touched it first, so that was a classic rookie mistake. But that's all right. You flip that out anyway. And once you press it down with a towel like that, it should come out fairly flat, despite having ripped it. There we have it. But you're going to want to dry that a little bit more. And you are probably going to go through a lot of towels. All right, so now the next step is for you to put that strainer thing back together and repeat. Always making sure to stir the pulp before you start again. Uh-oh, getting a little too watery. Easy fix. Once it's at the consistency you want, you can just return that strainer thing and just continue on. I only ended up being able to get 3 pieces of paper out of this batch. So as you can see, there's a little spot there on the edge, and it looks kind of weird, but it's okay, it's fixable. You just gotta take some of that extra pulp that you got, and you just patch it right up. Always remember that if you're gonna dump it down the drain, definitely strain it first. Trust me, you don't want to clog a drain. This stuff is brutal. And all that's left to do is let them dry, and that's it. So yeah, that's my process, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you give it a try. If you do give it a try, just leave a comment and let me know how it went. And yeah, I hope you're having a great day. Bye.